I'm Dudu. Last session, we used the 5 whys to find the root of the problem. Today, we take it a step further with the affinity diagram. Collected data often looks like scattered puzzle pieces, but by grouping and interpreting them, we can create a clear roadmap for our product. It is more than just organizing data. It is about finding hidden connections. I will now share how to build your own design system principles. The affinity diagram is the work of restructuring scattered data horizontally. Instead of using a fixed frame, we let the data find its own place by similarity. This bottom-up approach helps us discover new, unexpected values. Let's see how complex information turns into a single meaningful cluster. Now, let's look into the basic concept of the affinity diagram. I will explain what it is and why it is vital for our design system. The core is finding order within chaotic information. We will see how sticky notes become meaningful groups and strong principles. It is simple, so let's get started. There is a common mistake when building a design system. It is picking words that just sound good, like saying, "We must be kind and intuitive." But a list of adjectives cannot be a standard for a team. This is because every team member defines kindness differently. True principles start by laying out all fragments of value: customer voices, brand philosophy, and actual product features. These are currently scattered without any order. In this state, we can never build clear design system pillars. This is where horizontal restructuring is needed. The affinity diagram is a process of finding genetic similarities between fragments. It is not about grouping similar user interfaces. It is about finding the main stems of value by grouping those with a similar direction. Now it is time to derive header keywords that cover the gathered clusters. These words are not just made up. They are common conclusions from the grouped sticky notes. The data should speak for itself, not just one person's opinion. For example, if "we are fast" becomes "we respect the user's time," it becomes a strong basis everyone can agree on. These condensed headlines become the design system principles. The affinity diagram is more than just a tool for organizing sticky notes. It is a strategic decision-making tool to find order within fragmented images and build the design system framework. You might have a question. Both 5 whys and the affinity diagram seek the essence, but how are they different? The 5 whys is a method of digging down vertically. It is useful for finding the root of one specific problem. On the other hand, the affinity diagram is a method of structuring horizontally. It is used to read patterns and order by grouping scattered fragments of value. To build solid principles, you must use these two tools freely according to the situation. Now that we understand the concept, let's see how it works in practice. A single example is often more helpful than a long explanation. I will show you the entire process of an affinity diagram, assuming we are building principles for a product. Watch closely how scattered sticky notes turn into a design system principle. A solid commitment for the team. It will be more engaging if you imagine yourself in an actual workshop. Let's imagine we are building a design system for a fictional delivery app, Deliver. Team members will suggest many values, such as being speedy, warmth, or trendy. But which of these many keywords should be the core pillar of our design system? Now, we will find that answer using the affinity diagram. First, we must collect the data to be analyzed. There are 3 core areas to consider. First is the user's voice. This involves capturing actual pain points, such as a user wanting their food to stay warm. Second is our philosophy. This represents the team's commitment to delivering sincerity, rather than just food. Finally, we have product strengths. These are our technical assets, like artificial intelligence-based route optimization. The important thing here is not to combine data from the start, but to collect as much as possible from various sources. Besides the VOC, vision, and features I mentioned, you can also collect data like stakeholder requirements or problems the design system needs to solve. When diverse data is gathered together, it becomes the material for balanced principles that are not biased. This collected data will serve as the foundation for creating our principles. Now, let's look at the 9 sticky notes spread out on the floor. User complaints, our vision and technologies are all mixed together. Shall we try to find the ones that share a similar direction? The users need to know the rider's location, our philosophy that honest information is important, and our global positioning system tracking technology. These 3 appear to share a similar direction. Although these 3 come from different sources, they point in the same direction. Reassuring users by providing clear information. I use different sources for this example, but please remember that data from the same source can also be grouped together. Now we will connect these scattered data points by finding a common context. It would be great if a header keyword appears immediately, but often it does not. In that case, try describing the common message of the group's sticky notes in a full sentence. These 3 sticky notes together mean reassuring users by providing clear information. The key words here are clear and reassurance. The word that covers both is confidence. By connecting them this way, we have derived confidence as our team's core keyword. If you group the remaining sticky notes in this way, you will find several unique values for deliver. When extracting keywords, there may be 5 or 6, or even more than 10. However, calling all of them principles can reduce focus. So we will set priorities through voting. Please place stickers on the keywords that you think best represent our product's identity. This is not just about a simple majority vote. It is a process to confirm the importance shared by all team members. The top keywords with the most votes will eventually become the solid pillars of the Deliver design system. Principles built on consensus can be truly effective during the actual design process. The examples I have shown so far are a very neatly organized version to help you understand. But what is it like in an actual workshop? It will probably be chaotic at first. With hundreds of sticky notes, you might feel overwhelmed about where to start. Do not worry about whether they can all be grouped at once. Practice does not end with a single grouping session. First, create very small groups of 2 or 3. Then, group those small groups together again. Keep adding groups to groups and move up one step at a time. Instead of looking for a perfect answer, patiently track the similarities between the sticky notes. At the end of that process, the core keywords that represent your product's true identity will be waiting. Just as we did with the 5 whys, we must transform keywords into principles in the affinity diagram. The keyword confidence is great, but it's hard to answer the question, so how should I design? With just that word. We need to turn this keyword into an actionable principle. Instead of just confidence, let's expand it to share every process transparently so that waiting does not turn into anxiety. Isn't that much more specific? Designers will think about how to arrange information on the screen, and developers will decide the data update frequency based on this sentence. A good principle is not just a pretty word, but a specific sentence that guides the next actions of the team. Now that we have extracted core keywords through grouping, the most important step remains. It is the process of transforming those keywords into design system principles that the team can actually use. We should not stop at single words like confidence or speed. We must refine them into specific sentences that anyone can see and act upon immediately. Using the formulas we learned earlier, I will now explain how vague values turn into clear action guidelines. Do you remember what I mentioned in the 5 whys? I said it is essential to transform keywords into principles that team members can see and act upon immediately. Let me explain this once more, as repetition is key to learning. If the keywords we derived represent the essential state we aim for, then principles are the specific action guidelines to achieve that state. It goes beyond simply defining, our service should be like this, and provides a practical guide. Therefore, we must act this way. Only when keywords are connected to actions do they gain true power as principles. Let's assume our service's keyword is confidence. Simply saying, "We pursue confidence" can be vague. A word that everyone interprets differently cannot be a team standard. What if we replace it with this principle? Share every process transparently so that waiting does not turn into anxiety. It becomes much clearer. Now, it's time to turn this vague noun into a living sentence. Remember three things when turning keywords into principles: context, tool or action, and goal. Context defines the scenario where the user needs our principle. Tool or action determines the specific function or attitude we provide to resolve that situation. Goal contains the final value we want to deliver to the user through this action. Please assemble these three elements. Simply place the sticky notes from the grouping step into these three slots. Then, a clear design principle that everyone can agree on will be completed. Now, let me show you how to write these sentences step by step. First is word fishing. Look at the sticky notes gathered under the derived keyword. Circle the most essential words. In this example, the words curiosity, real-time location, and information were selected. Second is category classification. Place the selected words into the three slots of the formula I shared earlier. Curiosity is the context the user is in, real-time location is our tool, and information is our goal. Finally, it is the assembly stage. Simply connect these words naturally. In anxious situations where users are curious, use the real-time location tool to share information transparently. How does it sound? With just a few words, a wonderful principle has been completed. Share every process transparently so that waiting does not turn into anxiety. Remember that principles are not something you force out of your head. They are already within the data you have gathered. The true end of the affinity diagram is not organizing sticky notes, but finalizing the team's commitment in a sentence. Now, your team will no longer wander among mere good words. This is because you now have real principles proven by data and promised through clear sentences. Lastly, I'll share some tips and things to keep in mind when doing an affinity diagram. The real workshop environment is very different from the theory. I'll share my experience on how to stay focused when you get stuck during grouping or when the team has different opinions. Mastering these few core techniques will help you extract solid design system principles. Let's stay focused and walk through them together. Many people think an affinity diagram is just about organizing similar sticky notes, but the essence of grouping is interpretation, not organization. If you simply group them by payment or delivery, it becomes just an index, not a resource for principles. I'll share 3 techniques for deep interpretation and successful grouping. First, pay attention to the groups with the most sticky notes. Lots of data means many users share the same experience, or most team members feel it's important. It shows a strong consensus. These groups become the priority principles our design system must solve first. Start by naming the largest clusters and turning them into principles. By doing just that, 80% of your design system's foundation is already built. You'll likely get stuck the most when trying to find header keywords after grouping. When that happens, think of verbs instead of nouns. Ask yourself, how do we want our users to act? And try writing it as an action. The moment you use verbs, it becomes much faster to apply the context, tool, goal formula. Nouns are static, but verbs move us to action. While practicing, you might see several sticky notes with the same content. Don't throw them away just because they are duplicates. Having multiple notes with the same message is visual proof of that value's volume. The thickness of those overlapping sticky notes becomes the legitimacy of our principles. Compare the size of groups while keeping the raw volume of the data. Finally, don't stress about whether a note belongs in Group A or Group B. If it fits both, just duplicate the sticky note and put it in both. An affinity diagram isn't a test to find the right answer. It's about finding the links between values. If you find a note that connects two different groups, that's a key clue that ties those two principles together. So far, we've explored how to build design system principles from scattered data using an affinity diagram. It's fascinating to see how messy sticky notes gradually gain meaning and become solid sentences, isn't it? The bottom-up approach we learned today is a great way to capture real, live voices from the field. Now that we know how to structure data, let's move on to the next stage. In the next session, we'll go a bit deeper and talk about structuring a brand's essence from a more philosophical perspective. I'm Dudu.